So realization number one, the problem is not the problem, which I briefly touched upon before. Now, that's a bit weirdly worded, but as I said, the actual thing that's going on in reality is not the real issue. The issue is what's going on in here and in here. So that we tend to look outwards. We tend to go, there's this issue going on. Let me, I don't know, if you're losing a job, oh, everything's falling apart. Oh, I'm losing it. I need to find a new job now. It might not be you need to find a new job in this example. It could be internally, there is something in there. There's like the fear of survival. That could be the real underlying cause, you know? And once again, going even deeper than that, like I said, there's a lot of layers to this. So even that fear of survival may not be the thing. It's just the fear is causing a reaction in your body. So the fear is you feel a tightness in your chest, you want to dry heave, you want to vomit. That is almost the actual issue there. And that is the issue that is stopping you performing in your daily life. So the key thing, more than anything, would be emotional regulation. I guess that's like the end of, or the ultimate thing of all of the issues. Any issue you're having, I can guarantee you, any issue, the emotional regulation would be the first step. Because without that, you're going to panic, you're going to freak out, whatever the issue is. You solve that first, you can deal with the outside situation. And that's where obviously these 4 steps come in. But that was number 1. Realization number 2, there is a solution. Would it help if I write these realizations down, or you guys? Yeah? Okay. Where should we do this? Let's do this over this side. I hope you guys can read my handwriting, but yeah. Realization 1.
Are you going to share the video with us after? Or?
Yeah, if you guys like, I can do that, yeah. The problem yeah, at least if I share it with you guys, this awful writing will make sense to you all. But yeah, so that was realization 1. Realization 2. There is a solution to every problem if you're looking in the right direction. So if you're having a problem, but you're only looking down this way, you're not going to see what's going on around you. So that as difficult as it is, you need to get into the, like, you've got to accept and redirect almost. Problem occurs. I don't know, my car's broke down. You go 2 ways, one of 2 ways. One, you freak out. I broke my car, I'm not going to go. Oh, my wife's at home, my kids, blah, 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 blah. Or 2, you go, car's broke down. Calm the mind to the best of your ability. Your mind's going to be freaking out, but you're just like, okay, mind, chill, I've got this, calm. And then you look for the next best thing to take in that moment. It doesn't mean go and buy a new car in this moment. It means look for the next best thing. Cool, got my phone on me. Can I call someone? Beep, 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 beep. Hello? No answer. Okay, didn't work. What's the next best thing I can do? All right, I've got another friend I can call, or the AA. Call them, beep, 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 beep. So it's taking the next best step in each moment. But in order to do that, you need to be looking around. If you're playing a video game, who's played like Call of Duty or some sort of GTA? Anyone? Yeah? See, like you don't just walk. You look, don't you? You look around, bam, shoot him, do that, get into the car. You look around. It's the same thing. If you're not looking around, you're not seeing what's going on around you. So that's how you find the solution. Be solution focused, not problem focused. Realization 3. We don't see reality as it is. What do I mean by that? We see it through a lens of our past traumas, our past upbringings, whatever we've gone through, that's the way we see reality. And it's often said there's 3 truths. Anyone heard that before? There's your truth, my truth, and reality. Yeah, and that's so true. And the thing is, like I said, if you're wearing For example, pink shade of glasses, I'm wearing blue, you're wearing black shade of glasses, you're wearing yellow. You're seeing, this is the reality, you're seeing it from different colors. Yet there's the one reality. That is why the presence is so important. Getting into that present state of moment, not letting those judgments, those past beliefs impact the current moment. That's why there's a saying like, there's a guy called Eckhart Tolle who I strongly recommend if no one's seen him already. He's like, be in the present moment, every time present, accept the problem, be in the present, see it for what it is. When I was a 2-year-old, my mum threw a pen at me, let's just say, and now I associate these pens, the Sharpie pens, as bad. I'm gonna look at this, the pen's bad, but you guys are like, dude, it's a pen, you write on the whiteboard with it, you know? Exact same thing. That happened, no denying it, but is that what's happening right now? No. Let's see what's happening right now. That's number 3. Just gonna have a sip of water. This shouldn't overrun, but if it does, just tell me to shut up, by the way. Realization 4. Now, this is God, universe, call it whatever you want. There is always something bigger than you guiding you. Like, it doesn't matter where your religion, your background, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The point is, there's something greater than you guiding you in every step. And I know this for sure from my experience when I was going, like I said, going through my worst time, I guess you could call it. There was a lot of solitude in this moment. So I was literally going out, going to walks by myself, 3 hours a day, just going out. I was like, well, it's, lockdown times. What else is there to do? Let's just walk out, calm the head. But within that silence is where the instant knowings would come to me of what to do next. But I'd been so distracted in society or on my phone or trying to push away those things that I couldn't hear those answers. And it's not like a answer, do this, do that. It's more of a instant knowing. Like I say, call it what you will, but there's always that go within. Just go within and look for that quiet whisper telling you what to do, where to go. And that leads me on to, I guess, a subsection from this. Because we don't listen to this, I guess, let's call it the internal voice. That is often what gets us into trouble a lot of times. Let's use relationships as an example. So you meet someone, you go on a date. Oh yeah, okay. Don't know how I feel about this person. But you go, I'll go on another date because they've not done nothing wrong, but I don't know, not 100% certain how it is, how it feel. You go on date 2, that little knot in your stomach or chest. Oh, yeah, I mean, they've not done nothing wrong. So I'll go on another date because, they've not done nothing wrong. They said all the right words. Perfect. Yeah, let's go on another date. Then you maybe go on the 3rd date. So this is the whispers getting louder, like, dude, stop. Don't go into this relationship. Stop dating. You don't listen. You see them on their phone. Who are you texting? No one. That's little bro. Come on, move away. Doesn't listen. Go on another date. Maybe they steal some money from your pocket. It's getting louder and louder and louder until it gets to the point where you just get slapped, not a literal slap, but, the world slaps you in the face. She cheated on me, he cheated on me, oh, this happened. But it wasn't that. Oh, she's a bad person. It's the build up, all these things. You knew from day one. Day one, you knew. You just didn't trust yourself. So that's why I say trust yourself. That's what I say go within every time. Trust that voice. You need to get to the point where you can differentiate between what is those fear-based, speaking versus that intuitive-based speaking. So obviously that takes a bit more work. And then we kind of spoke briefly on this, but I wanted to say 3 ways you can take immediate action. So these are my like aha moments, so to speak. But here are some 3 less traditional ways that you can just take action, like whether you're at home or you know someone that is. Obviously, like I said, you can still like look online, see what the experts say, doctors, whatever say, but some 3 ways that can just snap you out of that cycle instantly. Maybe you have a bit of anxiety before a presentation, something like this. Just instant ways you're, okay, let's do this method, and then I can, instantly get out of it and get on with my day. The first one, I'll write these down as well. Let's do it the opposite side then. That's 3 ways to take some immediate action. So number 1, so we touched briefly on these as well, but these are just something you can do quickly. Movement. So movement, because as I said before, the body is the one that's sort of keeping hold of that. It's like, feeling the stuff. That's the anxiety comes up in the chest for me, some people's stomach. That's where there's like a trap then, like a pipe that's blocked basically. What we need to do is unblock the pipe. But sometimes you don't have a few months to do something, a year to do something. You need like, I've got a presentation or I've got a date or whatever it is. In 2 hours, I need to get rid of this now. Movement is something, you don't want to just do a slow walk, still daydreaming. You want to do something that gets you out of the thought pattern. That's why these things are done. Something that gets you out of the thought pattern. This can involve a brisk walk even in nature. This can involve, there's stuff that people do, like they literally slap parts of their body. That's going to be so loud on the mic, but slap parts of their body, slap their face, because you're out of that thought pattern, you're snapping out of it. You're not thinking about it, and the energy is almost trying to get the energy flowing again. It can be whatever's good for you. It doesn't have to be go run a marathon, go do something. Something that gets your mind thinking out of that loop, snaps it out, so then you can get into the present moment and redirect to where you want to go. Rather than thinking, I'm so stressed, you go slap, 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 or do what you need. A few push-ups, bang, bang, bang. You can literally just do it in here. Push-ups, look a bit weird, but it could work. Do that. You're snapped out of it. You're in the present moment now. Cool. Now I've got this meeting, or now I've got this date. Now I've got wherever it is. So movement. Now the complete opposite of movement, which we touched on over this way, is that stillness. Because the movement is essential to get you out of the old pattern into the now. When you're in the now, you still need to listen to what your body's saying, what to do next, where to go next. So this is like the receiving part. You're in that still moment, the mind's not thinking, cool, breathe. Where do I go now? Oh, because now you can think clearly. You're not thinking, life's end, you're thinking completely calm. Nothing going on in the mind. Let's go right, go this way, or do this action. So that's the bit where you go into to take the next step, basically. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Yeah, as the more you start doing stuff like this, getting into stillness, does anyone go into stillness just out of interest by themselves at home? Like maybe you sit by like complete silence, yeah? Okay, yeah. Silence, stillness. But yeah, that stillness and the silence, I count that in the same thing. Like when I say silence, I don't mean on your phone, music in your ears. I mean complete nothing. The more you get used to that, is when you're going to be able to differentiate between what is that intuitive call and what is that fear-based call. And you won't instantly jump out of fear and react out of fear. You'll be like, this is the fear one. Maybe let's stand back for a minute, take a pause. Is this coming from fear or intuition? I think this is fear because my heart's pounding, I'm going to vomit. Okay, cool. Maybe I don't act on this. Versus the intuitive one is just like a calm, beautiful, breeze-like feeling. But you've got to be careful because the intuition comes first. Then the fear comes in. Should I text my buddy? I've not spoken to him in a few years. Yeah, it'll be good. Go to press send. It's weird. Why are you going to send him a message? He's not spoken in 3 years. Probably doesn't even like you anymore. Then the fear comes in and you talk yourself out of it. So it's recognizing as well, it's going to come up. But the more you get to learn about yourself, you'll understand when to act, when not to act, and the differentiation between them. And number 3, which we mentioned, is the cleanse. And I think this one's important as well, even though you can do like a full body cleanse, getting everything out the system. I think this is something important to do on a, I guess, weekly or even monthly basis. Obviously, we want to cleanse the mind by doing, purification, stuff like that, but also the body too. So there's obviously fasting. That's one way, whether you do a water fast, dry fast, juice fast, stuff like this. You can also, there's stuff that we wouldn't consider as well, like, for example, oral hygiene. A lot of people don't realize the amount of bacteria on your tongue. So doing stuff like tongue scraping, because if the body, that bacteria from eating a McDonald's or whatever is in your mouth, it's still going to be, it's in your body, it's just coming out through your mouth. So any way to purify the stuff you put into your body, the stuff you put on your body, it's worth assessing that, seeing what goes in, because ultimately it's trying to get out some way if it's not, I guess, a healthy option. So a cleanse would be the third way to take instant action. Of course, these are just the 3 snap out ways that I use to, help me. There's many, many other ways, but something to leave you with is these. And the last bit I want to touch on before, and I thought if you guys have any questions, we can go on to that stuff after, just more like an open conversation. How can you help someone with mental illness? Because sometimes it's not obvious for one. Sometimes you know that someone, like, I don't know, they don't seem so good. What should I do? The first thing I would say is you can't help anyone that doesn't want to be helped. As much as you want to help them, you cannot force this on them. You can try and do certain things, which I will touch upon in a second. But someone that doesn't want to be helped, the more you push one way, they're going to push the other way, and it's going to push them away even further. So you need to approach this a bit more gently. I guess you still need to be compassionate, but be understanding of where they are too. And I think because obviously a lot of people, including the experts, have not gone through that thing, they don't know how to see it from that perspective. So you need to try and see it from the opposition's perspective, your friend, whoever it may be, as much as possible before pushing on your own ideas. So the first one is the be present with them. So I'll do another little, let's do it here. So someone, like say, this is not necessarily someone that you know has got a problem. It could be someone you're just a bit concerned about. You don't know 100%, but you just want to be there for them. So the one is once again, we go back to presence. And this is difficult for a lot of us humans because we want to speak, we want to get our point across, we want to say, you should do this, particularly like my family, they're from North Cyprus. They want to tell me this, they want to tell me that, they want to do all this stuff. And when I was a kid, I just didn't do it, quite frankly. It just pushed me away. The presence is where you let them be heard in a safe space. So you sit down, let them speak, be curious. Curious, that's a key word. There we go. Curious and safety. If the person doesn't feel safe, they're not going to speak to anyone, let alone you. They're not going to go speak to a random doctor, psychologist, whatever it may be, because they don't feel safe. They think you might be out to do something against them. So you ask out of curiosity, why? How do you feel? Are you okay? Anything I can do to help? Just ask them how their day is, stuff like that, and make them feel safe. Don't judge. They say, oh, today I couldn't get out of bed, or I felt miserable. Oh yeah. Complete calm. Open. No, even though you might feel, I guess, because a lot of us are compassionate, we want to help our friends, our family, whatever. You're like, oh, are you okay? And I'm sorry at this. You want to just almost be non-reactive, just be open, completely open, non-reactive, and support in the best way that you can in that stillness. Don't feel the need to give your opinion. Just let them speak. What needs to come out will come out at the right time. It might be in that moment, they don't want to speak, they just want to say, I'm fine. Then later on, they think, oh, I've got a problem, but this person made me feel safe. I'm going to go speak to them, see if they've got a suggestion. So you can slowly prompt ideas. Have you tried doing X? But don't try and be like, have you did this, do that, you should do this. Don't say the word should. That's another one. If you say you should do that, you damn well know they're not going to do it. That's another one. You can, of course, get into men's and women's. They're like, what they call it? I think they could just call them men's and women's groups actually. So this is like leading on to the safety thing, where men and women, obviously not in the same room, there'll be a separate group for men, separate group for women. You can find them online, in person, whatever it may be. It's an open space where they can share any issues they're having. So you might want to talk, not want to talk to your family, your friends, but you'd feel safe in an environment where everyone's going through the same issues as you. So, and of course, if you attend these for the first time, you're going to be a bit skeptical, a bit scared, because you don't know the people, you've never opened up before. But I would say the people, if anyone does attend these or suggested, do it gradually. It might start off by writing something down that you feel a bit anxious. You write it on a bit of paper rather than speaking to someone. And then gradually you build it up to the point where you can speak to people a bit more openly. So for me, it was the same. To even speak before, it's like I had a blockage on my throat. I could not say nothing. Build it up. Maybe I'll just reflect on it myself, do some journaling. I'm like, okay, yeah, this kind of helps. Gradually, it's to the point now I can stand in front of you guys and there's no emotional reaction. There's no nothing here. I can speak about it and hopefully help others. There was one more. Ah, yes, that was one. So this is share your story. So you may be, not, it doesn't necessarily have to be a full-on novel that you're sharing. It could just be how you're feeling in that day. So you might be speaking to someone that you're concerned about. You just open up to them. Today I had a bad day, and you'd be a bit more vulnerable. I felt anxious in the chest and felt uncomfortable doing this. So open up to the best you can as well. And you can go, you don't have to, like I said, don't have to bore them to death with it. Just enough to get them thinking like, okay, goes back to the safety again. Okay, it's safe to talk to this person because they're having the same issue as me. It's relatable. And they will be absolutely, I guess eventually they'll get used to it. And then they can confide in you if they need something more. Of course, there's number 4, which is consult a professional as well. Like I say, it doesn't come to the point where you are forcing someone to do something like this. But should the person feel ready to do it themselves, you can provide them with options what they can do next. You can also work on things together, I guess, if you wanted to, but you need to have the knowledge and stuff as well. Like if you had a friend that you're both going through a similar issue, of course, work on stuff together, do your research. Maybe you go out, do a course together on a particular issue, particular stuff on the mind. But you don't want to just blindly be going into it. You don't want to be giving someone advice if you don't know yourself. So you want to make sure, you're either being guided by someone or you know what you're talking about first, and then you can combine it together, basically. Because you feel, like I say, if you're doing 2 people going for the same thing, you're gonna speed up the process anyway. So if you do know anyone, like I say, reach out for these groups in particular. They say they're online, you can find them everywhere, but going through an issue together speeds it up. You feel, like you're part of a community as well together that way.